Hi, I'm Scott Wrighton. I serve as Decatur's city manager, and every week we give you another installment of what's going on at City Hall, not really City Hall, Civic Center, but for your city government. We live in difficult times, and history shows that when there is uncertainty in the world and when there is economic instability and stress, that sometimes that vitriol and false narratives seem to travel faster and are given more currency than the truth. And of course, some of those false narratives will melt away when they're examined more closely, but unfortunately, falsehoods usually get spoken with a louder voice than the truth, and oftentimes more frequently. So let me mention a few facts that might be useful to you about sort of where Decatur is at. Our sales tax collections are down. Sales tax is the city of Decatur's largest single revenue source into its general fund. Revenue from the 2022 Christmas season spending is down from the same period last year. Now, frankly, I don't think that should surprise anyone. Sales at local secondhand stores are up. Requests for social services at our many partnering social service agencies are up. The local economy is stable, but people are nervous. And because a few small banks on the east and west coasts who trade in riskier loans to small businesses have failed, even some of our local banks here in Macon County have felt compelled to give depositors reassurances, as they should, that their funds are safe and secure. Again, the local economy is at least stable for now, but these are difficult times that we're living in. So let me mention a few things that the city is doing to help ameliorate, to help with some of the local effects of this uncertainty in economic times. The first is that after having done so repeatedly during the pandemic, the City Council has chosen to again make a transfer to Dove that they can use, a local social service agency, so that they can use those funds for utility and rent assistance for some of the people that are most affected by economic dislocation, by not being able to hold a steady job, or whatever it is that's causing economic disruption in their lives, that here is yet another source of funds to help those folks. One of the other things that we're doing is we're investing in some of these shelters for transitional housing. Again, with Dove, as well as with some other agencies like the Salvation Army, we're investing funds that we've received from state and federal government to increase the number of units that are available. One of the things that the City Council is going to be taking up at their meeting this coming Monday is the issue of childcare. Childcare is really important for workforce development because if parents can't find reliable childcare for their children, they are effectively taken out of the workforce, or at a minimum are less reliable as employees because they don't have reliable childcare. So the city will be investing, a decision that is before the City Council next week, if they approve it, investing in the purchase of a former child care facility, and then working out a partnership with a local business person who will take over that child care facility and operate it in the city's urban core at a place where I think is most needed and can help people not only in terms of their child care needs, but indirectly help get them in the workforce, make them more stable as well. The City of Decatur is also investing in job creation. The InnovaFeed project, the TCCI investments that we've spoken about, and the grants we've been able to receive. Next week there'll be another announcement about an additional job creator, a new business coming to Decatur, and investing in the necessary infrastructure to make sure that these businesses can be sustained and maintain those jobs over a long period of time. One of the other things that the City Council will have on their agenda next week that I think also goes to this point of what are we doing to help during these troubled times is we're bringing on a consultant, and it's taken a while because we've had to wait for the state and federal governments to approve this consulting contract, but a consulting contract that will help us do what we call a route analysis, not only with the existing routes that the transit buses go to, but also to go into an area where we have not been in the past with public transportation, and that is something we call microtransit, which gets us into neighborhoods that have traditionally been underserved or don't support fixed route buses, so that we can, more on a demand basis, take people from point A to point B, sort of with a multi-user Uber approach really is sort of how I describe microtransit. Because we know that in addition to childcare, transit is also one of the things that can keep people out of the workforce. If you don't have reliable transportation, or if you can only get the bus during one part of the day, but you can't get it home at night when your shift ends, then access to transportation is also an impediment to persons holding a job. So that's why we're undertaking this very important analysis and why we're pursuing some pretty significant grants that will help us add microtransit as well as other revisions that we're making in the transit system here in Decatur, because it helps folks right where they are with what they need to get to work, to get to what they need to be economically successful, and we want to raise all of our residents up through these means. I've spoken in the past as well about the investments that the mayor and city council are making in the redevelopment and rehabilitation of existing structures, which not only increases the number of units that are available, because housing, there's not enough housing in Decatur and Macon County now, but also improves the quality of that housing and thereby over time will increase the condition of our neighborhoods. So there's no silver bullet, there's no single strategy that the mayor and city council can take that solves these problems, but collectively and in the aggregate, this is how your mayor and city council and your city government are responding in these difficult times. I look forward to the opportunity to give you some more updates on these and other programs in the weeks ahead. Thanks for tuning in.